Holy man, we're back. It has been a little over 2 years since I posted my last video. I'm hopping on here with no idea what I want to talk about, but I know that I want to start pushing content again. So here we are. A lot has happened since I have posted my last video, and I kind of want to catch you guys back up to speed. I've never done a, who is Mason Galbuta video, and I think that's what we're gonna do. That might have been annoying. Who is Mason Galbuta? I guess let's start from the beginning. I was born and raised in Wisconsin, Two Rivers, Wisconsin. Throughout the past 5 years, I've definitely gone through a roller coaster of purpose, a roller coaster of identity, trying to figure out what I want and who I am. I'm not gonna get too much into my backstory of me growing up in this video, but I do want to get into the past 5 years. When I was 17 years old, I was a senior in high school. I was at one of my best friend's house, and he was on the phone with this guy talking about trading and network marketing and all this other shit. And I just heard him, over talking about what they were doing, and I told him, "Yo, hook me up, get me going." Got a computer, bringing my computer to school, and I was trading. Funded my account with $200, showing people how to make money and shit, but I was blowing my money because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So blew my first $200 doing that. I was not the most disciplined in high school. I didn't even know if I was going to graduate until the last day of high school. So, I told my mentor, I need to focus on passing fucking high school. My biggest problem was, it's not that I was stupid. I just never turned in my homework. I just never did homework. I don't know what my mindset was. I just thought it was retarded, so I just never did it. I don't know, but I wasn't a stupid kid. Graduated high school with a 1.8 GPA. The day after my graduation ceremony, literally, I think we graduated on the 8th. I called my mentor on the 9th and said, let's run it back up. Told my parents that I was going to go full in on sales and network marketing. I said that this is going to change my life and this is going to change your life, because I know that, if I can go all in, everything's going to change. I had my mom's husband at the time, and my grandparents all in the living room, and everybody shit on me. Nobody believed me, but from a small town, and not many people. I think the biggest guy that ever came out of our town was Ken Kennedy. Fucking wrestler. I'm gonna be bigger than Ken Kennedy. Told all my friends, and they all shit on me. I mean, I was trying to get them into it, and they probably thought it was they thought it was a scam, but they thought I was scamming them. And I'm like, I grew up with these guys since 2nd grade, and you thought I was scamming? Dog. I thought it was just the fucking best opportunity and best shit since fucking sliced bread. If anything, that makes me a good friend. I was trying to put everybody on, but nobody saw the vision. Later down the road, I learned that, God gave you the vision. He didn't give it to your mom. He didn't give it to your dad. He didn't give it to your friends. He gave it to you. So they're not going to, so if you have a vision that not everybody truly understands, that's okay. They're not going to understand. They're not going to understand right away. But you have to keep going, because eventually they will. During this time, this was 2021. I'm 18 years old at the time. My mom's husband at the time was really pushing me into the normality of life. He goes, you're either going to go into the military or you're going to get a factory job. I said, fuck. So he had a Air Force recruiter come to the house. I asked the Air Force recruiter one question. I said, am I going to have to shave my head? He said, yes. And that was a no for me, dog. So I couldn't do it. Got a factory job, worked at WGNR Mattress Factory. Definitely not a shout out. And that shit made me miserable. I skipped at least one day every week for 3 months. I worked there. I absolutely hated it. And I never was a morning person. Okay? I hated waking up at 7 o'clock just for fucking school. Came back home, and then I started trading. Started studying the financial markets, and then started studying personal development. Network marketing really pushed personal development, and I didn't know what the hell that was. If you don't know what it is, it's pretty self-explanatory, developing yourself. Worked there for 3 months, and this was June of 2021. I made a promise to myself that I'm only going to work here for 3 months. After the 3 months, I'm going to go full-time on network marketing and sales. When I was a senior in high school still, I told my mom that I was going to move out in September. She goes, how are you going to move out in September? I said, I don't know, but I'm going to do it. I believe it was like September 2nd or September 3rd. Moved out of my mom's, packed up all my stuff into my car, and moved in with my dad. And I went full time in network marketing. He didn't really believe it at first. He didn't know what the hell I was doing. He saw I was making money. He was like, holy shit, dude, you should get me out of this. You know, he was looking to get in it. He never really did, but I was making a full time income off of it. I had a specific brokerage, and one morning I woke up in November, got an email from them, and they basically said that my account was closed due to suspicious activity. Apparently, it was an offshore brokerage, basically fucking rug pulled everybody and took their money. So, lesson learned. Had to get another job. Picked up a job at Planet Fitness. I was the front desk, whatever the hell they want to call them. Hated that shit. February of 2022 comes around and some shit happened with my mom and moved back in with her. We moved to Manitowoc, and this is when I picked up a job at Domino's. I was still doing network marketing at the time. They'll build it back up to where I could do it full time. So I was a delivery driver driving my own car. And every single day, I would never listen to music. I would always have a personal development audio that was playing every single time I'd hop in the car. And it got to a point, and I'd listen to Bob Proctor. It came to a point that I was listening to his audio so much that, you know, the voice in your head that for your thoughts, it was his voice. Crazy shit. 19 years old at this time. Quit my Domino's job, go all in on network marketing. In August, moved in with one of my business partners in network marketing. Silly me. We did a joint account. You know, I truly believe that everything that happened in my life has taught me something. It was a lesson. You know, I never look at it as a failure. I look at it as a lesson because I learned from it. I grew from it, and it allowed me to shape the person that I want to become. I had a joint account with him. Everything was in his name, his bank account, everything. So all of our commissions went to him. I didn't see how much we were making. I knew we had to been making a lot because we were doing good, bringing people in, recruiting, building the business and everything. So it was a rough patch. I don't want to get too into it, but learning lesson. Moved back in with my mom. She moved somewhere else. This little ass town. I want to call it pretty sure it's called a village. It had like a population of 750 some people. I think it qualifies as a village. So moved into this village, got my own apartment. It was like a duplex. So it was like a bottom top type of thing. So I got the top. My mom lived at the bottom. Picked up a job at a gas station down the road. At the cash register, you know, building my communication skills. March comes around this is 2023 now, and I was miserable. I wanted to get into life insurance and car sales, and my mentor knew a guy that got into the life insurance space. He was 19 years old at the time. Basically said that he's been working there for a month and made $8,000 within 2 weeks. Now, I didn't believe him. Also didn't want to work with someone that is just starting. Went through his Instagram following, found his mentor, DM'd him. He basically got me into it in May of 2023. That's when I started doing my life insurance test. It took me from May to October of 2023 to pass my life insurance test. And I spent about $700. Test was about $75 a pop. Took it 11 times. So do the math on that. But I was determined. I was very determined. I knew that it was going to be better than what I was fucking doing now. I was working at a gas station. So I'm not going to accomplish anything working at a fucking gas station. Moved out to Tampa, Florida at 20 years old. Small town kid from Wisconsin, moving to Tampa, Florida. It was a big change for me. I was shitting bricks on the way to the airport, contemplating if I really want to go or not. That was the biggest risk and biggest decision that I believe to this day that I've ever had to make, and I am truly grateful for it. I remember having a 12-hour layover in Denver, Colorado, and how the hell does that make sense? Going from Wisconsin to Colorado to Florida, whatever. Fucking Frontier. Never flying fucking Frontier again. By myself, 20 years old, watching fucking El Chapo on Netflix. Fire ass show if you've never watched it. Got out to Tampa, Florida, and lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with eventually came to 12 people. I don't know if I could pop up a picture, but I was sleeping on a twin size air mattress for about 6 months. My desk was a fold out table with a lawn chair that I bought from Walmart for $8.88. Now I'm a big numerology guy, so that to me was my money chair. I knew I was going to make hella money out of that chair, so that's why I got it. I've been in life insurance ever since. It is 2026. I believe it's the 7th. In 2025, we reached a little short of $500,000 in production. And then in 2024, my first year in the business, we did a little under $300,000 in production. It may sound sweet, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. It was a lot of trial and errors, a lot of ups and downs. It was my first year in actually owning my business, because in network marketing, they call you like a IBO, an independent business owner, but you don't really own anything. Here I did. In November of 2024, I moved to Bozeman, Montana. It's where I found my lovely girlfriend in February 15th. the day after Valentine's Day. You know, you look back at those times where you didn't have anybody, especially if you're starting something new, starting something where, you know, it's going to change the rest of your life and you're doing something different than everybody else around you. You're going to have that period of time where you're by yourself for a year, 2 years with no friends, nobody really believing you, nobody really pushing you. Like I said, your family members aren't going to believe in the vision like you do. Nobody's going to believe in the vision like you do. So you have that lonely period. And, you know, for 2 years, it was just me and my thoughts, me and God and where I wanted to go. And I look back at that now and I believe it was shaping me into the person that I could become that person for someone else and help them. And they helped me and be that rock. So shout out to her. In August of 2025, moved out to Arizona, where I'm at now. So a lot of things have happened. I'm not going to get too much into the adversity because trust me, there was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of times where you doubt yourself and is this truly what you want to do? And is this going to benefit? Every time I got into that phase, I always looked back at, this is going to be a great story to tell one day. And also it's way better than working a job. You know, I'm not the type of labor guy, you know, I got to get my hands dirty. I'll get them dirty. Shout out to those guys because I did work at a factory job. You know, and I grew up with a father figure that did have a job in construction. So I know how hard it is. And salute to you guys because that shit would make me miserable. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't the path that I wanted to go. And I know I wanted to make a name for myself. I wanted you to know who I am so that I could help you, inspire you, and help you become the person that you wanted to be. Because I didn't have that. I didn't have someone that I looked up to growing up. I didn't have someone that, you know, was a mentor or, you know, someone that could help me pave the way. I had to do it myself. And that's why I give all my grace to Bob Proctor, because if it wasn't for him, I definitely would not be sitting here in front of you right now. I don't believe with the mindset that I have. You know, from here on out, I want to help you. I do want to help the version of myself that was helpless, didn't have anybody to look up to or help pave the way for them. Because, you know, maybe you grew up in a small town. Maybe you have parents that don't see the vision like you see the vision, but you're hungry. You just want to adopt the habits and the mindset that is going to help you become that person. And that's why I wanted to do these videos, unscripted videos, true me videos, because, you know, after building a business and building a team, I love that shit. I love breathing life into people. I love building people up. And, you know, with me being a yapper, I think it's one of my greatest qualities that I have. We're going to be pushing a lot more content. I want to get into more politics. I do want to start live streaming because I feel like interact with me just talking to a camera, like I'm just spitting off the dome. You know, no notes. I don't got anything in front of me to kind of talk about. I'm just sitting here being me. So, you know, I think live streaming would be fun because then I get to interact with you guys. I get to answer questions. I just feel like there's a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Engagement. More engagement. So let me know what you guys want to see, what type of content you guys want to see. I'm definitely going to be doing the personal development stuff because I do believe for the young men out there, I mean, 18, I mean, I'm 22, going to be 23, 17, even younger guys. I mean, I wish I would have found Bob Proctor when I was younger because, you know, it's just growing. I do believe life is about growing and learning from your lessons. Don't look at them as failures. Look at them as lessons because you can dissect what it's teaching you. It's going to help you grow. That's my story. Who I am. This is Mason Galbuta. And out. So, thank you guys.